So you can hear me clearly and you can't hear the music?
Yeah, I can get you up.
Hmm?
I can turn off that mic.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. It's the A-League Women's soundtrack. Playlist for that. obviously works for a macro club. Like trust those pronunciations. Old mate hasn't come back. Oh well. I think this is a one-off. Say last.
Dorokopoulos and Scottish attacker Conor O'Keefe to their ranks this season and will be looking to make a strong start in their effort to return to the playoffs, especially against a Victory outfit that, the last time they were at this level, found points of any kind, let alone wins, very hard to come by. Of course, having said that, 9 years ago, Victory's youth were triumphant in their opening game of the NPL season, defeating Northcote City 1-0 thanks to a Joey Katabian goal. And now a new generation of the young Vucks, under the guidance of new coach Boris Serostan, following Joe Palazzini's move to take up an assistance role with Pep Montemurro at Lyon's women's side, are looking to make their mark. My name is Joey Lynch, and it is a great pleasure to have your company here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, no matter where you happen to be tuning in from, be it here in Melbourne, somewhere in Victoria, somewhere in Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. I'm joined for tonight's game by Cade Lucas, and Cade, after a bumper opening round of the season in which pretty much every game had a feast of goals, this contest has plenty to live up to.
It does, Joey, and I've got a fair bit to live up to following that introduction. Great stuff, and it's great to be here at the home of the Matildas with Stand By Me ringing out on a lovely evening here in Melbourne's north. Yes, as you mentioned, it's been a very goal-happy opening round of the competition, finishing off yesterday with a 3-3 draw between Dynamo and Dandy City. And if conditions are anything to go by, we should be in for some goals here tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. A bit of a breeze coming from the south, but as you'd expect here at the home of the Matildas, the pitch looks like a carpet and a good crowd rolling in too. There was some conjecture as to whether Victory's army of fans would follow them down to the NPL. And whilst it's not quite an Amy Crowd-esque crowd, there's still a very decent roll-up here, and hopefully they have a very enjoyable evening of football from their point of view with a Victory win. But Altona certainly will be keen to have a good start to the season. They had a poor start to last season. I think they lost the first 4, and they've made a lot of changes, as you mentioned, Joey, so they'd be keen to get off on the right foot here tonight.
Indeed, as that breeze begins to roll in once again, we will be having Melbourne Victory wearing their famous all navy blue strips, kicking from left to right of your screen in this opening stanza. The Altona Magic wearing their white away strip, kicking from right to left. We'll take you through these two starting lineups once we get underway, but as Kate mentioned, a good crowd rolling in here in Bundoora. Free entry for Melbourne Victory members as they get their 2025 NPL Men's Victoria campaign underway with a long diagonal. For Melbourne Victory, they've got Christian Siciliano in goal, the 2023 Mitch Langerak Award winner as the best goalkeeper in their academy. Their third choice keeper on A-League Men days. And he will line up behind captain Damian Bozanovsky. Kane Razmovsky, as we'll briefly pause as early foray forward by the Victory youth is cleared away. Kane Razmovsky. You've also got Alex Manilau, Tommaso Minatoli, Jack Mihalidis, Stasi Georgakopoulos, Parker Williams, Jesse Hoey, Luca College, and Tobena Abani. For the visitors, they've got their skipper, Christian Rossi, in goal. In front of him, Hiora Kawaguchi, Tafik Olmawewe, John Stoichevsky, the deputy skipper, over 200 games for this club, back again. He's also by far the oldest man on this pitch, the only man in either side in his 30s at 31. Connor O'Keefe, Saad Bukachar, Christos Theodorakopoulos, Bilal Habib, Anthony Frangi, Alex Gust, and Philip Yovchevsky rounds out the starting 11s. And I imagine, Cade, early on in this one, we might see the exuberance of youth and, well, here we go. Getting forward quickly, Melbourne Victory. The cutback, though, does not quite come off. Minatoli, he's lethal. We have seen that over the years. He scored for fun, but Obani just not able to find him. But early warning signs for Altona.
Yes, Obani's really got some wheels down that left-hand side. You got him behind there. And Minatoli is one of the players we really want to have a look at tonight. Very highly regarded youngster. And it was mooted as a real make-or-break season for him, for Melbourne Victory, as Magic look to have their time on the ball for the first time this evening. Out towards O'Keefe, one of their many off-season imports, and here is O'Keefe from the far side. That's a decent-looking ball in, out to the far post, and now back towards Theodorakopoulos, looking to start his Magic career with a goal. They still keep the move going. Here's Habib, former Burger. Plenty of navy shirts around him, and eventually Victory will clear. Only up to midfield, though, where it's got a mystery player on the pitch. I think number 4 for Magic. Olamawewe, thank you very much, Joey. It's number 3 on my team sheet, so cheerio to the Altona Magic staff for that one. Here's Stoichevsky, one of the mainstays in this Magic side. Had a lot of change, but he very much stays the same. And here they come down the near side. Gust. Not much happening there. For a man whose name is very much part of the weather here this evening, it is pretty blustery. And that could yet play a role in proceedings as we see Siciliano, his yellow goalkeeper's kit flapping in the breeze. And it's still 0-0 after nearly 3 minutes.
It's a long ball forward. Headed away, but Victory trying to seize upon the second ball. Battling for it. Chesky went down, maybe asking for a free kick from our referee Yanni Zizis here tonight. No doing. As Mosky can get us going again, right in front of our broadcast position here. Some sharp combination play as the hosts look to advance up this right flank. Hoey with a touch, promptly turns it over. Victory trying to set up a cordon, but unable to keep his feet was Alex Manilau, and that's going to see a turnover. Only for the Victory to win it straight back off Theodorakopoulos, one of the new additions to this squad. Coach Goran Lozanovsky telling me before the game, very excited to have Theodorakopoulos playing for Altona, and a classic number 10 who knows where the goals are. Spent the past season with Manningham and Morelands, where he got 12 goals across 23 combined starts for the two clubs, to go along with an assist. As Victory just working the ball from left to right as they look to reload from the back line.
They look pretty sharp here, Victory, and that's a ball over the top. And Minotau is putting the keeper under some pressure. But Christian Rossi stands his ground. Minotoli. Here's Sturjeski. Gets a good old hip and shoulder as he gets a left footer away. And now it's Sturjeski again. All the way back to Rossi, who's kept his spot between the sticks for Magic, despite Shamalov Trinkova coming over from Port Melbourne. And here's Theodorakopoulos throwing his weight around in midfield as they try and get a bit of time on the ball here, Magic. They've been chasing tail a bit in these opening exchanges. Here's a ball into the box. Bozanovsky, the skipper, got there to head it away. They work it out to the near side. Here's Hoey. One of two Hoeys playing tonight. His brother Jordan is on the bench. And Jesse goes down here and wins a free kick for his team. Rosmosky takes it, goes back to his skipper in Bozanovsky. Long crossfield pass. Oh, Benny was the target, but it was well wide of him. And easy pickings for Rossi. Christian Rossi, the Magic skipper, looking very fetching tonight in his pink outfit. As they try and build out from the back again, Magic. Here's Olamawewe. Towards Karaguchi, the Japanese, who's come from Northern Tigers in the New South Wales Premier League. It's the throw here on the far side as the floodlights really begin to take effect here. Beautiful night for football, as we might have said. Sometimes early in the season, the conditions can be a bit tough for players. They're very hot and oppressive conditions, but beautiful tonight, and it's a beautiful touch there by Gust as he gets Magic going here, only momentarily. The whistle blew. It was offside on Habib. And Victory come away. It's a risky pass across the edge of the 18-yard box, but they work it well now towards Hoey.
Victory trying to work this ball out to the left flank now. Looking for Ibani over there. We've already seen him produce one cutback just behind his man in Minotoli. No doing, however, for the Victory as they'll go all the way back to Siciliano. And the turn from Georgakopoulos. Fierce coming together, and Olamawewe is going to be the first player of this game into the books. Rather too enthusiastic with his challenge on Mihalidis. So in the 8th minute, the centre-back will receive a caution and now will have to be on his best behaviour for the rest of this game. Perhaps something that if you are the likes of Minotoli, Mihalidis, Barney over there, you can target and know that, well, if you run at him, he's going to have that in the back of his mind.
Certainly can't have any complaints about the card. He lunged in.
As Victory send the ball through the middle of the park. And Anatoly just unable to wrangle it. And a wayward passing from the Magic, and that's going to allow the hosts another opportunity. Some space for Hoey on the right. Anatoly is waiting in the middle. Hoey, the crossfield ball is going to spill out, and it's going to find the back of the net for the opening goal of Melbourne Victory's 2025 campaign. And it will be Jack Michailidis on the spot, making no mistake. 9 minutes into this contest, Melbourne Victory, the Young Bucks, they lead 1-0.
Well, that was an emphatic finish by Michailidis, but the chance was really created by number 10, by Jesse Hoey, rather, down this right-hand flank, a bit of toing and froing, getting past the defence, and then he really fizzed that ball across. And Rossi couldn't deal with it, and it spilled out towards Michailidis, who wasn't going to miss from there. And Victory, you've got to say they're well worth the lead after the first 9 or so minutes. They've looked the sharper team. They've carved out the better chances. And down those flanks, they do look pretty dangerous. Hoey in particular has been a real outlet for them. And he really helped create that opening goal. The opening goal of their return to the NPL after almost a decade, Joey.
And there's always going to be conjecture when a academy side comes up to the top flight. Of course, we see it. The New South Wales NPL, quite a few of the A-League academy sides have made their way into the top tier, but almost a decade between drinks for these Victorian outfits. You never know how they're going to go until you see them in action. Well, it's been all of 10 minutes in a very long season, but promising signs for the Victory thus far. Of course, another academy side in action tonight as well, Western United in the VPL 1. They are away to FC Bulleen Lions. We'll try to bring you some updates from that contest. Melbourne City getting their VPL 1 season started on Saturday.
Both of those clubs probably thinking that they should be where Victory is, particularly Western United, who were perilously close a couple of years ago, but Victory have leapfrogged both of them.
Indeed, was remarkable. A few years ago, all the academy sides were in the VPL 3. Victory missing out on promotion for the VPL 2 as City and Western United went up, only for the Victory to secure back-to-back promotions and make it to the NPL Men's Victoria. As we see the Altona Magic trying to fashion some level of response, no doubt stung by falling behind against a side that, well, as grown men who have been playing this game for a considerable amount of time, they will have arrived expecting to beat, expecting to physically outmatch. We'll have to see whether or not they can respond as Connor O'Keefe, newly arrived from Scotland, tries to get things going the right flank. Got a very interesting resume, does O'Keefe. He signed from Peterhead, based in Aberdeenshire, the Blue Toon as they're known. Roped them in recent League One promotion playoffs. Also spent time in the Celtic and St Mirren Academy, so maybe you can relate to his opponents tonight and being in the academy of a highly rated side, Cade.
Yes, he'd probably also relate to this wind, I think, coming from Scotland. Maybe not the heat, though. This is probably sauna-like conditions for him, but it really is whipping in from the south. You can see it fluttering the corner flag as Magic have a corner. Could this be a quick route back onto level pegging? Gone at 11 and a half minutes. And they go short, Habib. And that's a disappointing cross by Theodorakopoulos. They keep it alive, though. It's pinballing around. And Siciliano comes out and wraps his hands around it. But as you can see, with that clearance, the breeze having an effect that really sits up. Victory not only a goal ahead, but they're actually into the wind. So they've got an extra advantage, if you like. Hasn't really worried them so far. As the appropriately named Gust has the throw here for Magic, who will just try and find their bearings again after conceding that goal. Habib, Theodorakopoulos, Shachevsky, Kawaguchi. Mukachar has been a bit quiet so far, and they've lost the ball here. They can't quite hit them in transition, though. Victory. Just have a bit of a spell on the ball here, Magic. Just try and take the sting out of the contest a little. They work it down the flanks. Here's O'Keefe. And he'll need to do better than that. That's straight into the path of Siciliano. And nothing really doing in attack so far for Altona Magic, though. Still very early days. If you've just joined us on YouTube, Melbourne Victory 1, Altona Magic 0 here at the home of the Matildas.
There's Victory trying to manoeuvre their way up the pitch once more. The flick on, though, doesn't come off. And the Magic will have a throw-in just in front of our broadcast position, just inside their opponent's side of the pitch. It's not a good delivery, though. Now, the hosts potentially looking to get out quickly in transition. Menelau scans the field, sends it out onto that left flank, but the Magic have gotten back and assumes their shape quickly. So, the Victory will have to realign themselves. Maybe look to get something going on this right flank. Hoey plays the nice give and go. Trying to open up a bit of space. Saad Mukachar closing him down. High ball in. Mihalidis chests it down. He's got one goal today. Can he turn provider? No, can't beat the defender. And now, can the Magic potentially transition? Bilal Habib back in the top flight after spending a bit of time last season with Westvale Olympic. Started last campaign with Heidelberg. Handy pickup for this Magic side. There's Raznovsky. Gets us going once again. Kane Razmovsky, due for some level of congratulations. Made his first appearance on the Melbourne Victory's A-League men team sheet over the weekends when he made the trip up to the Hunter. Was part of their squad for the 3-0 loss to the Newcastle Jets. Didn't get on the park, but have to start somewhere.
I suppose that, again, sort of highlights the contradiction a bit with youth teams. If they do too well, then probably a number of their players are probably going to end up out of the side and up in the A-League team. But I suppose it also depends on how youthful the A-League team is and how much they're relying on youth, or maybe how much of a youth policy there is within the club. Western United and Melbourne City seem to be very youth-focused, whereas maybe Victory not so much at the moment.
Although we have seen tonight maybe one of the benefits of playing your home games on a Monday evening, you can have your young players sit on the bench in the A-League men games over the weekend, and if they don't play, they don't get the requisite minutes to require them to have a rest, you can run them out on a Monday night and double dip, as it were. Have your cake and eat it too. As Razmovsky is going once more. Stochevsky will just watch that one roll out. And Rossi can have himself a goal kick. Opportunity to see how the Magic build up from the back and Victory try to contain them. Always expect these youthful, fit academy sides to press and press well. Habib. Razmovsky for company at his back, trying to use his strength, turning, but the youngster, I was about to say, he did well, but referee Yanni Zizis has picked out an infringement, so it'll be an Altona free kick.
Stochevsky, the antidote to the youthfulness of Melbourne Victory, Johnny Stochevsky, though I was a little bit surprised, Joey, when you said he was just a mere 31. Seems like he has been around forever. I suppose it demonstrates that Altona are a pretty young side as well. Clearance by Rossi, left a bit to be desired, dissected the two players and went out of play. Just looking at just a touch off the pace at the moment, Magic. Certainly plenty of time to retrieve things. Albani with the throw. Straight to the forehead of Kawaguchi. Theodorakopoulos. Bit of aerial ping pong in the middle of the park. Bozanovsky with the header. Frangie has been a bit quiet so far. Highly touted arrival from New South Wales. And Victory have it back. So they recycle it through the back line. Williams. Now Bozanovsky. Now Williams puts the laces through it. It sits up in the breeze. Albani won't quite get there. Now rushing onto it in midfield, though, is Menelau. And they build here the home side, and it's Hoey again. He's dangerous. Inside the area, he might have a ping. He floats it to the back post. Kawaguchi got the header away. O'Keefe is there. And they get some breathing space magic. O'Keefe will try and turn defence into attack. And he does that. Now he stretches the field. Razmowski there with the intercept. Hoey. One of those players who, I don't think he has the shin pads down. I think he's just got none on at all. But they do have a certain impishness to them, those players who go shin padless. And he certainly has that. He's looked the part tonight. And he might have some work to do here as they go on the break victory down the outer side with Barney. Hoey's getting into the area. He might get there. He will, but it's out near the corner flag. The cavalry arrive in the 18-yard box. Hoey will try and find someone. Magic scamper back in numbers. As Hoey goes down. And that is a free kick for Melbourne Victory. Right in front of the fans here at home of the Matildas. They're all up against the fence and in the stands here, and most of them are liking what they see in these early exchanges. We're almost 20 minutes gone. Melbourne Victory in front. It's a free kick here for Hoey.
Hoey will just get a bit of instructions about where the ball is to be placed before he swings this in. Numbers back for the Magic. Now the delivery comes. Big pack forms. Magic do their best to scramble it away, albeit not too convincingly. Habib tried to turn upfield and was hacked down. And that will earn his side a bit more of a simpler clearance with a free kick. Deep on their defensive left flank. Rossi surveys the scene before going across to Stoichevski. Left-footed ball up the field, attempted header on by Anthony Frangi. Immediate cries of pain from Jesse Hoey as he went down was accompanied by protests from the Victory dugout. Some protests from the 19-year-old. Yanni Zizis just laying down the law, one of Victoria's best officials. Victory want Hoey to be allowed on the fields before the free kick gets taken, it's looked like, but play is signalled to continue. Williams goes back to Bozanovski. Hoey has made his way back onto the field, and he's been able to ghost into a bit of space as a result of being held up, perhaps. Now on the ball, trying to show a bit of trickery. The Magic swarm. Two defenders on him, forcing him backwards. He's brought down, and that will be a free kick in a rather threatening position for the Victory. And while Hoey, he was complaining previously about the attention he was coming in for, and he's given a few more words there.
Yeah, I think he was putting the fingers up for 3. I hope it wasn't for 2. That probably wouldn't go down well with the referee, but I think it was for 3, signalling the amount of times he's been brought down.
Or at least he feels he's been brought down.
Yes, he's certainly been in the thick of the action, and Magic are having to watch him very closely because he's causing problems, and he's won a free kick for his team here.
Indeed, he's both a Joey and a young Socceroo. 8 goals in 21 games for the Victory during their last campaign. It's him standing across it now, as well as Luka Golic, the former Melbourne Knight, senior listed for Melbourne Victory. Scholarship with their A-League men's side. Luka Golic. Hoey breaks away. Golic, well, something straight from the training ground, but maybe something that needs a bit more time to marinate on said training grounds.
So it's Rossi with the goal kick. 22 minutes played. Cade Lucas and Joey Lynch with you on YouTube. If you've just joined us, Monday Night Football. It's a pretty entertaining contest, one that Melbourne Victory are having the better of, and that's a thumping header by their skipper, Bozanovski, out towards the aforementioned Hoey. Again down this right-hand flank. He cuts inside Hoey. Good block there by Gust, though, who then leaves Hoey for dead. And the Magic come away. Gust looks further afield. There's not a whole lot on. He chips it over the top. And he chips it straight out of play. Frangie was the target, but it was a bit too far for him. Anthony Frangie, ex-Hills United player from New South Wales. Struggled to get into the game so far, but it's still relatively early days. About halfway through the first half. Stajewski. And that bouncing ball clears a couple, and now it's down towards Mukashar. Here's a chance for Magic, but Theodorakopoulos' shot thundered off the back of an opponent. They do win it back, though. They're just a bit higher up the pitch now, the visitors. Here's Mukashar. They need to get him into the game more. Kawaguchi. Olamawewe. Stajewski. And Mukashar goes down. Sound effects just for added effect, but it was clearly a foul. And it's a free kick now for Magic. Too far out to have a pop, but in a decent position for a cross. Theodorakopoulos is usually pretty dangerous with his dead ball deliveries. They're milling around on the edge of the penalty area. Stajewski now coming over, and he rolls it for Theodorakopoulos, who goes the reverse out to Gust. And that could have been a tricky ball in. It ricochets up into the air. And Victory look as though they've dealt with this. Hoey. Mukachar right with him. They do well in tight spaces, the home side. Eventually work it up towards midfield, but they turn it over again. And Magic win it again. Olamawewe, long ball looking for Habib, a bit too long. And that move peters out from Magic. Now starting to go through the gears a little bit, though, the visitors.
Goal kick taken short before it's promptly booted long. So nobody really in particular, though. Nihilidis tried to make a nuisance of himself, and he's rewarded for his endeavour, as Victory will have a throw-in on that left-hand side of the pitch. Barney searching for an option, finds one in Nihilidis. Only for him to run into a bit of trouble as he attempted to advance upfield. And Vardar, the Magic, have a throw-in on the right. Clever little touch to spring them into the attack now. And then the ball across, it was in the direction of Habib. It was cut out, however. When the Magic continue to just grow into this game, probing. Getting numbers forward as they'll switch the play from right to left across their back line. Gust. Stoichevsky just pulling the strings from back there, directing traffic. Habib trying a bit of trickery on Razmovsky. Doesn't come off. The vice-captain of this Victory side can have himself a throw-in. Some intricate passing for the Victory. Gets it up to the halfway line. Minatoli couldn't quite keep things going with a flick. Mukachar comes away with it. That's a dangerous-looking ball. Attempting to get it over the top. Parker Williams, though, getting in the way of it. An interesting addition to this Victory side. Parker Williams joining from the Central Coast Mariners. Unused sub for the Mariners back in October in an Asian Champions League elite loss to Thai outfit Birmingham United. He's previously spent time in Victoria and Western United's academy. Played his junior football with Glen Ira. A few Glen Ira prospects going around the top levels.
It's a bit of a geography lesson. Central Coast, Glen Ira. playing in the Asian Champions League, now with Melbourne Victory.
As his teammates look to spring forward. Minatoli scored for fun at every level he's been at. Can he add that? No, he'll lay it off for Hoey. Can he get an angle on goal? It's going to take a deflection. And Rossi will watch it roll out for a corner.
He's flickered at times this game, Minatoli. The times that he has got involved, he's looked pretty dangerous. And he might get involved here again as they have a corner, Melbourne Victory. So the substitutes are there warming up. Victory in no hurry to take it. Obani's just taking his sweet time to wander down there. Approaching the half-hour mark. Be an ideal time for Victory to double their lead. Obani tells his teammates on the subs bench to move out of the way so he can take the corner. And he does. Fizzes it in, headed away by Theodorakopoulos. Hoey is there to retrieve, though, for the home side. Going down in midfield there. Georgakopoulos. And now O'Keefe. Kawaguchi from the far side. Couldn't quite get the cross in. Now he goes with a header. At least got the ball into the box, but it's all navy blue shirts there. Only momentarily, though. They give it away. Chipped on by Frangi. Again, Frangi. And he was biting off a bit more than he could chew there. Anthony Frangi. It's another goal kick here for Melbourne Victory. Siciliano to take it.
See this classic 4-3-3 shape that this young Victory side has adopted, initially at least on that goal kick. Got the back four and then Georgakopoulos in that midfield. College playing as the 10. Menelau in there as well. The wingers Hoey and Obani with Minatoli up top. Always good to see an actual number 9 wearing number 9 on his back. He's on the ball now, turning, and Hoey has again found himself in acres of space. Running at gusts, trying to just slide it across the top of the penalty area. A bit of afters there as the Magic clear it away. And then a collision between Gust and Hoey, and well, perhaps Hoey just reminding referee Yanni Zizis about the attention he's come in for this evening has paid off as Gust goes into the book with a yellow card. The Magic second of the game after Olomawewe went in 8 minutes into the contest.
As you mentioned earlier, Joey, it's something that could come to cost them in the second half, both defenders.
Especially when you're trying to contain such a tricky player like Hoey. He loves to run at defenders, and some of those step overs and the like. Have to be good with your timing. As he's on the ball now, clever flick over the top. Soichevsky come, high flick up, but the ball will sail out for a goal kick.
Christian Rossi had his heart in his mouth there for a moment as the ball went over his shoulder, and he must have been fearing it'd drop under the crossbar. It didn't, and Magic are still hanging around. Still hanging around, but still a goal down. Mihalaides' goal after about 10 minutes, still separating the teams as Habib flicks it on with the header, trying to get something going here for Magic. But Giannis Ziz's whistle stops them in their tracks. Ball must have gone out of play, so it's a throw here for Melbourne Victory, right in front of the Altona bench. In front of Goran Lovanovski, who's sitting down. Probably working out his half-time team talk. Theodorakopoulos down towards Mukacha. Olamawewe. Now towards Karaguchi out on the far side where it almost looks like he's playing in the bushes at times. It's pretty dark out there. He just occasionally appears and sends it across. Here's Frangi. And now on the turn, it was Jajeski, and they're building here Altona Magic. Karaguchi went looking for O'Keefe, but he's had his pocket picked. Victory win it back, and then they give it away almost in the same movement. It's Mukachar who's growing into this game in midfield. Out towards Gust, who's just gone into the book. Theodorakopoulos, he's lost it. And College just puts the laces through it. I'm not sure what he was up to there, Luka College, just a rush of blood.
I think he might have noticed Rossi off his line.
Yeah. And then forgot that it's quite a stiff breeze he's kicking into, and worth a try, I suppose. Saw something like that come off in the FA Cup over the weekend. Quite a spectacular goal for Plymouth against Liverpool the other day. Actually, no, it was against Manchester City. I digress. And meanwhile, Jonas Zizes has got some more work to do here. Fair to say the locals are not impressed. They want him to reach for his yellow cards again. He's not going to do so. And it's Stojevski with the free kick. Going out looking for Karaguchi, but it's knocked away from him by Mihalades. And out for a throw.
As we approach the final 10 minutes of regulation in this opening stanza, still Melbourne Victory leading 1-0 thanks to Jack Mihalades' opening goal. Altona trying to figure out a way to restore parity before the main break. Just some accumulative pressure now. Knocking on the door, seeing how long Victory can hold out. Plenty of bodies back for the hosts. Totally their highest man, and he's well inside his own half as well. On Mawewe, Kawaguchi before he gets it back, but here comes the pressure from College, but the strength of the centre back. To at least shrug him off, ensure that his side will retain possession with a throw in. Switch of play potentially on from the visitors. Stojevski out to Gust. Well, he comes out to keep his company, but he'll work the 1-2 with Habib. Now Gust again. Does he pull the trigger? He does, but it's blocked away. Magic trying to scramble and keep the ball in that attacking third. Habib, clever back heel to find him again. He goes down, and it's a penalty for the Magic. Bilal Habib trying to work his way through, was clipped as he did so. And immediately, Yanni Zizas points to the spot. And the Magic, 36 minutes into this contest, will have a penalty to try and tie things up.
Don't know about you, but it looked fairly clean cut from here.
Pretty stonewall one that can't bring him down.
First
like
bit
that.
of real tight interplay they've had in around the box, Magic, and it could bring big dividends. They haven't really been able to do any of that so far in this game, that really tight, intricate passing, but some interplay there, and it could lead to them being back on level terms.
Having won the penalty, it will be Melal Habib to take it, the 24-year-old. Habib versus Siciliano. The stutter step, the top corner. Habib makes no mistake, and this game is locked up at 1 goal apiece in the 38th minute.
Good penalty. Stutter step, and then strong finish into the top corner. And they've flickered at times in this game, Magic. They've struggled to really get patterns of play going, but the one moment they do, and it comes up trumps, and that'll give them a huge boost of confidence now going into half-time. We've still got about 8 minutes to go. Don't be surprised if they really go through the gears here and try and get another one to go in front at the break. They do have the breeze at their backs, and they'll have a bit of adrenaline flowing through their veins now too, especially Bilal Habib. So this game just changes complexion a bit from the kickoff, and almost a charge down there by Frangie. I said they must have had adrenaline flowing, and Frangie certainly showed that. And now there's a bit of a rugby tackle by Mukachar. And don't tell me he's going to go in the book as well.
Well,
he is, and there is a bit of pushing and shoving going on here.
Well, there has been plenty of snipping, especially as this first half has progressed. Both sides, a lot of feeling in this one. We saw Frangie clash with Michailidis previously, wanting a yellow card, didn't get one. And even then, Theodorakopoulos coming in and just helping Manalau stand a bit further back.
A few of the
So 3 yellow cards, all to the Magic thus far.
I think a yellow card has just been given now to Manalau. By the looks of things, yes, players from both sides were redlining there. It looks as though Jonas Scissors has got control of things.
It will end, well, that brief bit of excitement will end with a free kick for Melbourne victory. Important test for these youngsters, their first game back in the Victorian top flight. Things were going very well, taking an early lead. Now the Magic have responded, punch and counter punch. What does this young group do in response? Can they find a rapid answer and restore that lead before the half-time break? Oh, again, he's in acres of space here on the right. If Victory can get it over to him in time. The switch of play is on. Oh, he will drop deep to respond. Gus comes out to get in his face. Some clever footwork. He goes down. Make a bit of noise. College, meanwhile, on the ball. So maybe advantage played. And then he's going to go down. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Oh, he's still down behind play. It's one of those ones that's hard to tell. He's certainly getting some knocks, but he's certainly putting a bit of mayonnaise on them as well. Howie?
Then it won't be a goal kick. It will be a free kick. So College was indeed infringed. And he will now have an opportunity to swing in free kick. It's basically just a short corner with its positioning that it is, and hence we can see Parker Williams and Damien Bozanovsky going up to add a bit of height to the options. The ball is sent into the top of the 6-yard box, and it was the skipper, Bozanovsky, waiting for it. Trying to just guide that ball onwards, kiss it inside the far post, but unable to just direct it. And Christian Rossi can have himself a goal kick, which he will take short to Stochevsky.
And he arced his head in disappointment there. Bozanovsky, you knew that he got good enough purchase on that. I don't think Christian Rossi was going to be able to do much about it had he directed it on target. How they would love to go into the interval ahead. They have been ahead for much of this half before Bilal Habib's penalty pegged them back. And now, if they're not careful, they might go in behind, but O'Keefe is offside for Altona Magic. Less than 5 minutes to go towards half-time. The last game of the first round of NPL Victoria 2025. And once again, both sides have scored. Could yet have another goal fest to finish off the opening round, which would be quite fitting because it has been very much an attacking feast in this opening weekend. And here come Altona Magic down the far side through O'Keefe. He sends in the cross looking for Theodorakopoulos. It's knocked away from him and now whacked further clear out towards Howie. Now Williams, Minatoli trying to get involved. Here's College. And College has given away the free kick this time rather than getting one. And Stochevsky right in the centre circle and a bit sloppy by the veteran. There to dig him out of trouble, though, was his teammate Stochevsky. And now smashing it forward and out of play is Gust. Bit of agricultural football there by Alexander Gust, who's had a very busy first half. And it's Razmowski who will have the throw. College, right up and down the chimney. Krzyzewski. Now Habib almost ends up in his own bench there. It's been a pretty rugged game at times. Some nice football, but certainly not short of physicality.
Switch of play. Olamawewe. Chance to carry it forward before Natoli arrives to put him under a bit of pressure. Ogachar tried to get things going. Victory sees upon it. Up for grabs in the middle of the park. Skittles the first two players to arrive. Goes through to Luka Golic, who's going to try to find Hoey. He'll keep it in on that right flank. Then advance in on Gust, who's on a yellow card. Dinked ball, looking for the back post. Presence of Minatoli, but Rossi coming out to claim it. And then rolling it out. Now, is there room for the Magic's goal scorer, Bilal Habib, to work? Well, there was, but he couldn't wrangle the ball in and try to exploit it. Menelau. Across to Williams. He'll try to loft the ball over the top for the run of Obani. And he's done well, Obani, and then as he tried to drill something onto the forehead of his number 9, just left it too close to Rossi. And the Altona keeper can once again snuff out a victory ball whipped into his penalty area. They had 20 appearances for Altona last season, did Rossi. Kept 4 clean sheets. Joins in 2023 from Box Hill. Also spent time with Richmond and Werribee. As we see the 4th official indicate that there will be 2 minutes of added time as the Victory advance down this right flank. Razmowski wasn't able to keep his feet, but he did keep the ball. And again, shielding it well, bundled over twice, but Victory retained possession. Wozinowski wanted Hoey. Gust sliding in, but now it'll come out to the Victory winger. Razmowski showing a bit of patience are the hosts as Georgakopoulos slides it across to Menelau. Abani. Kawaguchi comes out to keep him company. Induces him to go back to Williams. And Victory will reload and potentially ensure that they will be the ones that have the last attack of this half. Williams trying to just loft something for Minatoli, and it's going to bounce favourably for him. Can he show strength and hold the play up? He goes down, appeals for a penalty, waved away. And now can the Magic strike very late? Ball goes back to Siciliano. After Razmowski kept his head. Finds Williams. His pass picked out by Kawaguchi. Olamawewe. Stoichevsky. Bilal Habib. Bringing the ball inside. Theodorakopoulos. He finds O'Keefe in an offside position.
That might be all she wrote for the half. They were building nicely there, Magic, but they've just been undone a bit by being offside a couple of occasions in this half.
And that indeed will be all that was written for this opening 45 minutes at the home of the Matildas. It was Jack Mihalidis who opens the scoring for Melbourne Victory in just the 9th minute, seizing upon a loose ball after a cross from Jesse Hoey and lashing it home. But then 38 minutes in, we had the equaliser. Bilal Habib brought down in the Victory penalty area, stepping up and converting the penalty he won. But Cade, after 45 minutes, still all to play for. No clear dominant side emerging.
No, it's been a very entertaining affair. I thought Victory were well worth their lead in the first half an hour or so, and then Magic did step things up, and the first real decent bit of interplay on the edge of their box that they had brought dividends, and they got the penalty, and then it looked as though they might go on and get a bit more, but tempers flared there late in the half, and both sides have had opportunities. It's an entertaining game, and it's either sides as we turn for home.
Indeed. Well, a big second half to come here on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. Be sure to tune in for the second stanza, which will be commencing in around 15 minutes or so. My name's Joey Lynch, joined by Cade Lucas, and we will be joining you for all of that action on the other side. Altona Magic about to kick us off here in the second stanza at the home of the Matildas. Scores locked at 1-1 after a back and forth opening half. If you are just joining us, goals to Jack Mihalidis for Melbourne Victory and Bilal Habib for the Altona Magic. Might be having just a few issues with the vision coming back on. Hopefully you can hear me on the broadcast. No, indeed. We are back live here at the home of the Matildas. Thank you ever so much for your company on the NPL Men's Victoria YouTube page. Joey Lynch here alongside Cade Lucas for this final match of the opening round of this NPL Men's Victoria season. Both of these sides seeking to, well, both avoid the loss and recording just the second draw of this round after St Albans and Dandenong City's entertaining 3-3 draw yesterday. There's a bit flicking it back, only as far as Georgakopoulos. Bozanovsky just gets his boot underneath it as he attempts to clear. Both of these sides unchanged at the halftime break as far as we could tell. We'll run you through the subs in a moment. We'll just let this attack, well, potentially develop first. Barney sends it backwards instead, so no time like the present. For Melbourne Victory, their backup goalkeeper is Casper Fonsboel. And then outfield options off the bench for coach Boris Serostan. You've got William McIntosh, Austin Gamino, Daniel Lazarevsky, Raymond Deho and Jordan Hoey, brother of Jesse Hoey, who's out there on the right wing for Victory. And Altona on the ball now, so Saad Mukachar. Well, gets it back from Theodorakopoulos. We'll stay with Mukachar. Christos Theodorakopoulos. Bustled off the ball by College, had support. Ball spills out to Tafik Olamawewe. Altona's backup goalkeeper is Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov. Bench options for the visitors in the outfield. Habib will wind up but sends a shot straight at Siciliano. They've got Dejan Bakardanakoski, Mo El Halwi, Daniel Fabrizio, Salu Kamara, new signing from the Metro Stars in South Australia, and new signing from South Melbourne, George Sitsanaris. Another long-range effort coming in, this one from Anthony Frangi, but it's going to go out for a goal kick, Cade.
They've come out full of beans here, Altona Magic. Goran Lovanovsky has certainly given them a bit of a rev up at half-time, and they've really been on the front foot in the first 2.5 minutes or so of the second half. Frangi having a pop. Habib also continuing on with the way they finished the first half. They certainly did seem to have a bit of a pep in their step after getting that goal. Breeze has maybe dropped a little bit. Still very good conditions, and you do sense there's plenty more goals left in this one. As we mentioned earlier, there's been plenty over the opening weekend. The only draw was a 3-3 draw, and this one's 1-1, at least for the moment, as Frangi has another go. This one a touch closer than the previous one. He was further out, though. He's certainly brought his shooting boots, though, tonight, Anthony Frangi. Maybe third time lucky. But Christian Siciliano is seeing a bit more action down his end in these opening few minutes than he did for a fair bit of the first half. And again, it's all white shirts from the clearance. Stojevski towards Habib, who's really growing into this contest, the goal scorer. Those long legs, he's really causing a problem. Gets over the ground very well as well. He's a tall man, but he moves beautifully. And here's Hoey on the outer side now, probably the player of the first half. Victory try and get their foot on the ball for the first time since the break, but they lose possession. They win it back, though, through Georgakopoulos. Switch play to the grandstand side. Barney was the target there for Parker Williams, but nothing doing for Melbourne Victory, and that's pretty much been the story of of proceedings so far for them in this second half. Not a whole lot to report from the men in navy blue.
Altona look to build. As mentioned in the opening half, a strong crowd here at the home of the Matildas. Number of interested observers as well as Altona knock this ball forward. Bozanovsky should have an angle on it, and he does, getting in the way of Connor O'Keefe. Spotted Melbourne Victory Senior A-League men coach Arthur Dillis and his staff here in attendance. Well, centre-back Brendan Hamill here in the opening stanza. Victory Director of Football John Didalitzer in the crowd, as he is Managing Director Caroline Carnegie. There's another long-range effort coming in from the Magic, but that one
I think that was
wide from Frenzy again.
He's getting closer.
Well, he had 4 goals to go along with 4 assists for Hills United in the 2024 NPL New South Wales season. Also spent some time with Mount Druitt back in his native New South Wales after returning following stints with the Dandenong Thunder and Melbourne Knights. So maybe a new old addition to the league. As Victory look to burst forward, Minatoli found by the head of Luka Golic. He'll cut the ball back. Hoey has drifted inside. Had multiple defenders to beat. Victory, maybe a bit of fortune as they keep possession. Ibani, some fancy footwork, sends the ball to the top of the box, no doing. Straight to Georgakopoulos. Hoey on the flank, Minatoli waits in the middle, as does College. The winger, back and forth, looking for an angle, none emerges. Georgakopoulos. Parker Williams, his pass is wayward. Victory battling for it. Mihalidis laying it off. Parker Williams again. The centre-back going on a bit of an adventure, getting forward, laying it off for Obani. Altona's defensive shape, however, remaining resolute, remaining stout. Frustrating Victory. They look to go over the top now for Obani. Not declared by Kawaguchi. And Altona will just have their opportunity to put the foot on the ball and look to build out. O'Keefe played at central, looking for Theodorakopoulos. Doesn't come off. Bozanovsky hit across. Brought down after the fact, and that will be a free kick right in front of the Victory dugout. Again voicing their protests, and their skipper, Bozanovsky, remaining down inside the Victory technical area. Not sure if you'll be able to see him through the black plastic of their dugout.
He's very close to the Victory dugout. They're not exactly quick to get up and help him, though. Maybe they are wondering if he's if it's more cosmetic or not, but it certainly was a heavy blow. And he's finally back up on his feet now, the skipper.
Coach Boris Sarostan, former technical director at Football Victoria, in his first season as Victory coach, giving him a word of encouragement as he gets back out there. Looking a bit proppy, but he's going to run it off. As Menelau knocks a crossfield pass. Hoey, the intended recipient, only as far as Gust. The Magic unable to keep it in. Victory wanted to get things going quickly with the throw in. Mismoski. Minatoli, Hoey. Fancy footwork just not quite there for the Victory. And Ibani, look at the wheels on him as he arrives there in front of O'Keefe, but it will be a Magic ball.
In the final third here, Altona Magic. And they've certainly done all the attacking in the near 10 minutes of this second half. Still no change to the half-time score, but it's only the men in white who look likely to do that at the moment as O'Keefe hooks it across his body to the edge of the 6-yard box where Frangie, that man again, I think that's about his 4th attempt on goal since half-time. This one is actually on target. Forces Siciliano into a save. Unfortunately, he couldn't really get any power behind the header. But they're starting to knock on the door a bit, the visitors, and they've won it here high again. Habib coming in, Frangie as well, claims of a handball. Jonas Zizza says play on. And play on, victory do. Hoey just got a bad bounce there. It went over his head. And out of play, right on the halfway line. Game really up for grabs now. Fascinating juncture in the contest. Both teams still with a full allotment of substitutes up their sleeve. We're on 55 minutes. It's normally around the time of the game when coaches look at their benches, which Joey took you through moments ago. For now, though, the 11 out there for Magic are taking the ascendancy a bit in the game. Here's Stajewski with a long left footer. Nobody home on this occasion. Razmoski won the header. Bounces back into the path of Theodorakopoulos. Couldn't quite ride the challenge. And now, speaking of challenges, both Frangie and Williams have gone down. Play goes on, though. Habib. Williams has got up. Frangie's a bit slow. Habib's playing on the edge of the area. Still he's going, Habib. He scored one goal and he nearly scored a second. And that earns a well-earned round of applause from the crowd here at the home of the Matildas. Whether they were Magic or Victory supporters, that was quality stuff from Habib, stinging the palms of Siciliano, who's got some more work to do here.
And I believe Stojcevski has just received a yellow card for dissent. Was none too pleased that a foul wasn't called on that coming together between Williams and Frangie. So the 4th yellow card of the game for Altona. Both Mukachar and Stojcevski were in the vicinity as the card came out. I assume it looked like it was being directed in the direction of the Magic veteran. Both Stojcevski and Mukachar part of the leadership group for the Magic this season. Vice captains. Christian Rossi, the skipper. Meanwhile, Christos Theodorakopoulos sends in a low ball towards the near post. Attempted flick on, but there was a wall of blue shirts behind it. And the ball sails harmlessly into the side netting for a goal kick. And now maybe a foot race is on, and Rossi, maybe he wants to join in. Minatoli goes down. One of those ones that never really a free kick, but he did give a hopeful glance back at the referee, competing for that ball with Saad Mukachar. John Stojcevski carries it out before finding teammate in the middle of the park with Victory. We're going to steal it away. Hoey on the way, put in the tackle, ricocheted out. Kawaguchi on the ball. Wanted Connor O'Keefe. Scotsman couldn't bring it in. Bozanovski, you could see there that he was trying to key in on the forward run of Obani. Maybe couldn't get enough power on it. The wing-back running inside, but before he could collect, Christian Rossi out to deflect it away. Nonetheless, wasn't a cardio session in vain. Free kick for Victory. Sorry, throw in for Victory on that left flank. Williams to Bozanovski. Victory skipper on the ball, looking up. They work it well. Kolic, Georgakopoulos and Hoey, but the latter will lose it. Frangie. Ball lofted forward, and Williams had an angle on it, but he had to act quickly because Theodorakopoulos was lurking. Both sides showing intent, but thus far lacking that quality needed in the final third, as again Hoey carrying it inside, only to be dispossessed. Habib kept it in, but in doing so, allowed the victory to steal it and win possession. This game just crying out for a moment of class, a moment of incisiveness from someone to stand up and put their side ahead. Can it be someone in Melbourne Victory's colours as they come forward? Menelau sends it out to the flank. High ball in, but there's no one in blue to meet it. And Olamawewe heads it clear. Of course, we talked, Cade, about, well, Minatoli scored for fun at various levels for Melbourne Victory throughout his career. Scored 50 goals across various age levels during the 2021 campaign.
Just a lazy half-century.
Yeah, he maybe does need to step up, though. Adam Juratovic, who was one of Victory's leading goal scorers last campaign, now signed to the Oakley Cannons.
Well, he got 14, and I think Minatoli got 12. Yeah, Hoey 8. So
yeah, Juratovic, their leading scorer, he's gone. Of course, Altona lost their leading scorer as well, buildup, signed with Heidelberg United. Part of the squad that lost 3-2 to the Melbourne Knights on the opening day of this season. So both the Magic and Victory looking to replace leading goal scorers in this 2025 season.
The Magic have had to do that for a few seasons, with Jonas Markowski the season before departing for pastures new. Now turning up at Preston, of course.
Handy addition for the Preston Lions in their return to the top flight.
Indeed. Here's Frangie, who's certainly got the appetite for a goal. He's had about 4 or 5 efforts since half-time. None of them have quite come off, though. Stojevski. Habib on the turn, left his defender flat-footed inside the area he goes. Bozanovski, though. Full-blooded challenge there from the skipper. Certainly recovered from that knock earlier on. And he hammered that out for a corner. Poor old ball boy's going to have to do some work fetching that. And the corner will come in from the far side. 62 minutes in. Still locked at 1-1. Could this corner maybe unlock things for Altona Magic? It's Theodorakopoulos who sends it in, headed away by Bozanovski again. Straight to Gust. Back out to Theodorakopoulos, and they almost do it again, but the flag goes up. Theodorakopoulos was shaping to send another cross in when the linesman's flag went in the air. Bit of movement down on the Magic bench. So it looks like they might be first to make a change. We'll wait and see who that is. There's another free kick is aimlessly booted out of play. Here's Stojevski. Rossi. Olamawewe. Seems like Victory just sitting off Magic a bit more now. They've got a bit more time on the ball than men in white. I mean, fatigue setting in as well, but they certainly look a bit more comfortable in possession than they did do in the early stages of the game. Kawaguchi has been among their best. Looks a pretty astute pick-up on early evidence. Now Stojevski. Loops the ball over the top. Nothing doing, though. Razmoski intercepted, but again, Magic win it back. Gust. Habib. And he goes down, the big, lanky striker who's really caused some problems, particularly since half-time. It looks like he might have copped one in the solar plexus from that challenge. And he is doubled over a bit at the moment, Bilal Habib, and that might give Goran Lovanovski the opportunity to make a change.
Indeed. couple of players perhaps shedding the bibs and shedding the jackets. Just the one moving over to the fourth official's dugout, though. Mo Al-Halawi was a regular starter for the Magic in 2024. Have to content himself with a bench appearance today. And it won't be only him coming on. Daniel Fabrizio also motioning to come on. They'll have to wait for this free kick to be whipped in, however. It's close to Siciliano, and he claims it. Had to be brave. Tafik Olamawewe was arriving with a bit of momentum behind him. Those centre-backs can certainly generate a bit of force once they get going. Jovchevsky, well, he got there in front of his man, but Minatoli made him earn it. O'Keefe now for the Magic, held up by Mihalidis. And wait to see what kind of reshuffle these two changes for the Magic will force.
Looks like Dino is coming on for Victory as well.
Raymond Diho. He's got an interesting story, which we can go into once he actually gets on. Of course, as Habib sends this one central, Victory unable to call upon Josh Insera for this game. He's away with the young Socceroos at the AFC Under-20 Asian Cup. Starts on Wednesday for them. They'll play the young Socceroos. Trevor Morgan's side will play the Kyrgyz Republic, Qatar and China in the group stages. The Asian Cup, of course, also serving as qualifiers for the Under-20 World Cup. So a big tournament for Australian football.
Meanwhile, O'Keefe went down for Magic and they've won a free kick, meaning these subs are still waiting on the sidelines to come on. I don't think Melbourne Victory are too happy about it.
Coaches generally loath to make changes on set pieces. Certainly that's been the case for the Magic, as they'll wait again before they spring these changes. You've got Christos Theodorakopoulos standing over this one. Looks like he's going to try to find a teammate. Dangerous deliveries just into that corridor of uncertainty. And it looks like it's taken a glancing touch off a defender on the way through. So, unfortunately for Mo Al-Halawi and Daniel Fabrizio, they're going to have to wait to come on a little longer. And
they might have to go and warm up again the way this is going.
And Victory likewise. Raymond Diho, he's a wing-back by trade, not the tallest fella in the world. So it looks like the hosts will also just hold off throwing him into the fray until after this glut of set pieces. Oh, it's a dangerous looking ball in. Siciliano flew for it, couldn't collect. Altona again looking to get it in. Kolic with the clearance, and now can Victory break quickly? There's a bit of space for them to exploit if they can get it out. Menelau was just closed down. Couldn't swing something across on that left foot. Now Kolic will lash the ball into space. Cut back for Hoey. He couldn't cleanly claim. Mukachar brought down, and that will be a free kick. And will that augur the changes? Indeed it will. So 3 changes coming. Looks like Anthony Frangi will be one of the players coming off for the Altona Magic, the New South Welshman. Showed flashes, just unable to find the back of the net, though, in his return to the NPL Men's Victoria competition. Alex Gust will also make way for the Magic. Meanwhile, Melbourne Victory are bringing off Kane Razmovsky for Raymond Diho. Of course, Razmovsky, as mentioned at the top of the broadcast, was with the A-League men's squad for their trip to Newcastle. Probably had to do a bit of conditioning work after the game, as you see those subs doing their sprints after an A-League men fixture, so perhaps on a bit of a pitch count. Now, Raymond Diho, Kate, he's got an interesting story. He's newly signed with Melbourne Victory this year after playing regularly with North Geelong in the VPL1 competition last year. It wasn't a good season for the Geelong, as they went very young and went down, but also, however, last season coincided with his maiden senior international appearance, was called up by Papua New Guinea.
Wow.
And was part of their squad at the OFC Nations Cup in June. Started in a loss to Fiji in that tournament. So Melbourne Victory bringing a capped PNG international onto the field in this second stanza.
Reminds me, of course, of another former Altona Magic stalwart, Tommy Semi. PNG international, or was. I'm not sure if he still is, but...
There was a picture taken around the time of his call-up of Raymond Deho with Archie Thompson, his family from that part of the world.
Yes, yes. It is great to see some Melanesian influence in Australian football. Given that we are at the home of the Matildas, I think Mary Fowler's forebears maybe from Papua New Guinea or somewhere in that vicinity as well. Anyway, it's here in Bundoora that we are right now, and it's Melbourne Victory trying to get a foothold in this second half. Let's see if any of those changes make much of a difference for either side. We've crossed 70 minutes now, still 1-1. Here's Habib. And he's drifting into the area. His touch just got away from him. He gets back to the ball, though. And it's gone out for a goal kick, much to the chagrin of the Magic defenders who thought Victory got the last touch there. He does look the man most likely, though, Bilal Habib. At least for Altona Magic. Bozanovsky. Straight onto the forehead, though, of Kawaguchi. Game becoming a bit stretched now. Bit of fatigue probably setting in for those players who haven't been subbed. It's their first proper hit out for the year. You can have all the training sessions and practice matches you like, but nothing prepares you for the real thing. At least for those who don't have A-League commitments or others.
Which ostensibly should give maybe some of these Victory players a bit of an advantage. They'll have spent a lot of time training with the A-League Men program in recent months. Especially those that did a... Oh, offside, won't count. Flag immediately going up.
Yes.
No VAR here to check it in the NPL Men's Victoria.
I don't think VAR was really required there, but... one of the substitutes, El Howley, was voicing his displeasure at the lineswoman. Here's O'Keefe. Now Mukashar. And he opens the door here for Theodorakopoulos. That's a good ball across. Habib! Oh, well saved by Siciliano. Keeping Victory in it there. Magic really going through the gears a bit now. They can sense maybe an opening round win in the offing. Mukachar thought about the shot, drifted in the ball instead, but the whistle is blown. And it's going to be a Victory free kick. And it's going to be some more Victory subs.
So Daniel Lazarevsky, one of the players preparing to come onto the park, as is Jordan Hoey. Looks like Jesse Hoey, one of the players that will be making way. At least he's jogging over. And Tommaso Minatoli. Another of the players to make way.
Hasn't really had maybe the impact he would have liked tonight. He has. You can see when he does get the ball, the quality is in abundance, but just not enough involvement.
So... one Hoey will replace another. Jordan coming onto the park for Jesse. Looks like he'll move on to that right wing position. Lazarevsky, meanwhile, will go and serve as the focal point of the attack. 20 goals in 18 appearances for the under-23 side in 2024, Lazarevsky. So they've got plenty of players on the books that have scored for fun at a junior level. Melbourne Victory searching for a potential difference maker, not just at NPL level, of course, but also potentially one day A-League Men level. Lazarevsky arrived at Melbourne Victory from Pascoe, scored 23 goals in just 11 appearances at an under-15 level for Pascoe. has represented Australia at an under-17 level back at the AFF under-16 championships, now 18 years old. Meanwhile, 28-year-old Olamawewe sends that one forward. El Halwi bundled over in his attempts to win it. Georgakopoulos' pass charged down. Deho had Mukachar for company, just hoofed the ball anywhere but here. And the ball will eventually make its way back to Christian Rossi. 15 minutes of regulation remaining here at the home of the Matildas, plus whatever the fourth official deems necessary. Scores remain locked at 1-1 after first half goals to Jack Mihalidis and Bilal Habib, the latter equalising from the penalty spot for the Magic. This is the final game of the opening rounds. Other results in the NPL Men's Victoria across round one. The Melbourne Knights defeating Heidelberg 3-2. As the Altona Magic look to get down the left. And a bit of a enthusiastic challenge, we'll call it, from Bozanowski. Gives away a free kick. Other results, Avondale beat Oakley 2-1. South Melbourne defeating Port Melbourne. The Sharks the only side not to score this round. The South Melbourne winning 1-0. Preston marking their return to the top flight with a 2-1 win over Hume. The Thunder beating Green Gully 2-1. Dandy City and St Albans playing out a 3-3 draw yesterday. And this game locked at 1 goal apiece. Heading into the dying embers. And it's the Altona Magic who have flashed danger from set pieces throughout this second stanza with a free kick. It's again sent close to Siciliano, who just had to sort of poke it away, couldn't claim it. Fortunately for him, a victory player was there. That ball initially skittled Jovcheski. But the Altona Magic will claim possession as they send it back to Rossi. Bit less energy in that Melbourne Victory press now. Bit more time for the Magic centre-backs and back four in general to build up. Ball up for grabs in the middle of the park. Whistle comes in and it will be a Magic ball. Mawewe getting forward.
It's Mukachar is slow to get up.
The Altona centre-back sends it to Rossi, who finds Stoichevsky, but that pass is going to be cut out by, well, Jordan Hoey, who's now on the park. Ball lofted forward. Foot race is on. Oh, Rossi had to get rid of that one in a hurry. Maybe the commentator's curse because the press is back for victory. Now O'Keefe. Theodorakopoulos in support. If he can find him, he goes wide. Ball in. Only as far as Deho. Abani. Increasingly end-to-end in these last few exchanges. And Jordan Hoey couldn't chase that one down as he was in an offside position when the pass was laid. Stoichevsky. Kawaguchi's now out on that left flank. Oh, well, Halwi here on the right. Ball going towards the Altona substitute, but he can't keep it in.
Albani with the throw. Attacks becoming increasingly rare for Melbourne Victory, or more speculative. They're struggling to put together attacking moves of any great substance. Maybe that will change here as the ball goes out of play right below us, where it looks like Magic are preparing another substitution. Abani with the throw. Williams. Bozanovsky. What a fillip it would be for the young Tyros of Victory to get a win back in their first game in the top flight. And still very much within their grasp. Magic on top in general play, but it's still 1-1 on the scoreline. With just over 10 minutes of normal time to go. They've got defending to do here. Victory is a speculative effort there from El Howley. Goes all the way across goal. Habib can't keep it in. And it's out of play. At the southern end of the home of the Matildas, where the breeze has dropped a bit noticeably in this second half. It was really howling in the first half. Otherwise, beautiful night for football. And we're seeing a entertaining game which has still got a twist or two left in it yet. Hope you can stay with us on YouTube. Cade Lucas and Joey Lynch with you as some more changes take place down below us. So Keefe is off for Magic.
He's replaced by George Sitsinaris.
George Sitsinaris, former South Melbourne player. And
Salu Kamara coming onto the park as well.
Thank you, Joey. And he has replaced Theodorakopoulos, who's having a rest after a busy night.
Also note that Austin Ganino hasn't come onto the park yet, but waiting to do so for Melbourne Victory.
I think both teams still have one substitution up their sleeve. And we're inside the final 10 minutes. Bozanovsky, Victory skipper. He goes long, Route 1 stuff. Lazareski was the target, but it was well over his head. And his opposing skipper, Rossi, is the man who picks up the ball. Here's Rossi again. Stajewski. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Magic had a horror start to last season, losing the first 4. And they really had to do a rescue job from there. Ended up finishing the season pretty well. But they'd be desperate to start on much better footing this time. And they've still got a chance of doing that. Much changed team. A bit more optimism about the place. And they've got a free kick in promising territory here, and it's Sitsinaris has just come on. And he's opposing number 20, Williams, with a last-ditch intervention there to send it out for a corner.
.82.5 minutes gone here at the home of the Matildas. Fatigue beginning to sap the legs and sap the minds of these players out there. Saad Mukacha standing over this corner for the Magic, an outswinging right-footed effort. Glancing header clear by Melbourne Victory. Goes out to Hoey, who in turn lays it off for Menelau. Attempted pass was back to Hoey, cleared away, but we will see that change made now. Austin Ganino to enter the fray for the goal scorer for Melbourne Victory, Jack Mihalidis. His 9th minute effort at this stage has Victory on their way to a point.
Number 10, Jack Mihalidis, to be replaced by number 7, Austin Ganino.
Austin Ganino. 2 goals at a senior level in 2024 for Melbourne Victory. Got 5 for the under-23 side. Formerly of Brunswick Juventus before he arrived in the Victory Academy. And here come this young Victory side. Lazarevski laying it out. The newly introduced Ganino cutting the ball back to the top of the box. Altona get numbers back. Clearing the ball away. And Lazarevski giving away the free kick. Fabrizio brought down. The visitors looking to build, looking to find a way to break through this Victory resistance on the weight of territory, if nothing else. They've had the better of this second half, forced Siciliano into a series of saves, but unable to find that go-ahead goal. Will this be the moment? Saad Mukacha Trying to just flick it inside for the newly introduced Kamara. Some sharp passing by the Victory as they look to break out. Jordan Hoey on the right. Two substitutes waiting in the middle. Unable to find either of them. Yevcheski coming under a bit of attention. Does well to shield the ball. And then Rossi gets it out of dodge before he can be closed down further by Lazarevski. Free kick given away against Bozanovsky, and the Victory skipper will go into the book. Just slowing that play down, but here come the Magic nonetheless. Habib. What looked to be sort of a cross-come shot in the end. Couldn't find the net, couldn't find a teammate, and instead Melbourne Victory will have a goal kick.
You'd think the way this second half has gone, they'd be the happier of the two teams to leave with a point. Though all options are still on the table here. Inside the final 5 minutes of normal time. Here's Hoey. His brother's on the bench. And Jordan's on the field and he's in the action here. He sends the ball across. And last-ditch defending there by O'Howley for Magic keeps the score at 1-1. That's by far the best chance they've had since the break, the home side. And they could follow up with another opportunity here. They've got a throw deep in the final third in front of the scoreboard, which says 1-1. No change to the score in this second half, despite plenty of opportunities, particularly for Magic, as the flag goes up. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick in pretty promising territory here for Melbourne Victory.
All 11 Altona players getting back into the penalty area to defend.
All hands on deck now for the Magic. This will be pretty much as good as a cross, as good as a corner almost. It's going to be Ganino to take it. Just the one man in the ball, Habib. The rest are all milling around the 6-yard box. Here we go. Ganino. Or Barney, rather. Ricochets out. And Victory will have to recycle the ball. Georgakopoulos. Dio. Lovely touch there by Ganino. Ganino pulls the trigger. Stings the palms of Rossi. Now back towards Hoey. Suddenly they're really pressing the home side. Here's Georgakopoulos. Thought about a shot. Probably should have done. Ran into a cul-de-sac. The ball spills out towards the corner flag. Obani is there. Suddenly they've got a spring in their step again, Melbourne Victory. Obani, he's got plenty of pace, but he doesn't have much room to use it there. And Altona Magic will get some breathing space with the free kick. Victory next week. They're off to the Olympic Village on Friday night to take on the Burgers. So they'll get a good old taste of NPL football there. And the Magic are at home at Paisley Park to take on Dynamo St Albans. And here they go. Nice move by Mukuchar over towards Habib. And that was a bit crude by Dio, who will join the cast of thousands in the book tonight. Giannis Zizis, I'm not sure if we'll have any more room in the book after this. There's been quite a few. And Habib is still down.
So final minute of regulation has begun at the home of the Matildas. Scores still locked at a goal apiece. Bilal Habib, who equalised for the Magic, winning that free kick. And now it is the turn of Melbourne Victory to get all hands on deck. All 12 navy blue shirts aligned in a row on the edge of their penalty area. Ball is sent in. Nodded onwards by Stoichevski, but just unable to be marshalled by George Sitanaris. So the danger passes for the hosts. Abani closed down. We wait to see from the fourth official. There will be 3 minutes of added time here at the home of the Matildas. 3 minutes, 180 seconds for one of these sides to find a winner. Ball knocked forward. Al-Halwi gets in the way. Abani closed down quickly by Sitanaris. Kamara brought down by Menelau. He kept going, and perhaps that's what avoided a free kick. Stoichevski seizes upon it. Mukachar working against Diho. Play is still alive. Habib just can't keep the ball in. And then about a minute of this added time has expired, and Victory have a goal kick. Players really, you can see there, okay, Menelau cramping up, just trying to stretch it out.
There's going to be some sore bodies tomorrow.
Sore bodies at school tomorrow.
Yes.
This is Victory Youth side. It's a Tuesday, it's a school night.
Teachers might be wondering why they've got ice packs on in the classroom. I think Cecilio's going to go route one here.
Indeed he does. Lazarevski trying to get underneath it. Was working against Olamawewe. Now foot race is on, but Jordan Hoey has pace, but not that much. Here we go, 90-odd seconds of the added time has elapsed, halfway through. Is there one last moment of, for lack of a better word, magic? Kamara playing it central. And Habib, Hollywood in his eyes, sends that ball into the night sky here in Bandura.
Well, if anyone was going to produce a bit of magic, it was probably going to be him, but the fact that Habib has put that into the temporary seating suggests that we might be headed for a stalemate.
Can Victory produce something in this final minute of added time? While the final minute of allotted time, of course, is up to the referee's discretion when we will actually blow the full-time whistle.
They'll blow the roof off the home of the Matildas if they do.
Long ball forward. Strong header from Olamawewe. Fabrizio flicks it on. Kamara battling for it, but he can't come up with it. Here comes Luka Kolic. Luka Kolic has a bit of space. Luka Kolic! Rossi comes up big to deny Melbourne Victory.
Well, we often talk about a captain's goal. That was a captain's save. Surely saving a point for his team there, Christian Rossi. We're over the 3 minutes of added time, so we're very much at the discretion of the referee here. Still Victory come. Here's Kolic again. Kawaguchi out towards Habib. That will probably be that. The ball dribbles out of play. And that is that. Giannis Zizis ends a very entertaining Monday night of football to kick off the season here at the home of the Matildas. The final round of a goal-laden, the final game of a goal-laden opening round. And we saw a real seesawing affair, one that Victory took control of in the first 10 minutes with a penalty to Jack Mihalaides. And then they dominated really the first half hour, the young men from the A-League club. But then the Magic slowly drew their way back into the game, and they duly got rewarded with a penalty to Bilal Habib just before the halftime break. He put it away. That made it 1-1. And from there, that's where it stayed, Joey Lynch.
Indeed. The second stalemate of this round that we'll see Melbourne Victory and Altona take up 8th and 9th position on the NPL Men's Victoria table at the end of round one. It is the Melbourne Knights on goals scored, who will lead the Victorian top flight after one round. They're 3-2 over the Burgers. Avondale, Dandy City, Preston Lions, South Melbourne and the Dandenong Thunder making up the rest of the top six. Been an entertaining game, as Cade mentions. Melbourne Victory on the road to take on John Anastasiadis' Heidelberg United next week. St Albans Dynamo at Paisley Park awaits the Altona Magic. Other fixtures, Green Gully against Oakley, Dandy City hosting Preston, Hume City against the Thunder, Avondale against Port, and then the big one, the original Melbourne derby, South Melbourne versus Melbourne Knights. We'll see out the rest of round two. Reminder, you can see all of those games live and free on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed and be a friend, tell a friend, get them subscribed as well. But from the home of the Matildas here in Bundoora, the score has been Melbourne Victory 1, the Altona Magic 1. My name has been Joey Lynch. It's been my absolute pleasure to be joined by Cade Lucas on the call.
Me too, Joey. Enjoyed working with you, enjoyed bringing it to you at home.
Indeed, and thank you all for your company. Thanks and success.